Hey everybody, Nathan from Clubcard here. Welcome to our new video tutorial series where we'll be showing you some quick tips on how to set up your files for print. For our first video, we're going to start with something pretty easy and show you how to set up a document in Illustrator for printing so you can get it right the first time. Won't have to go back and change anything later on. So first thing we're going to do is switch over to the Illustrator window. I'm using the newest version of Illustrator. If you have an older one or newer, once you watch this video, everything should be pretty much in the same spot, but might look a little different. If you have any questions, let us know. So first thing we're going to do is go up to the top left here, go File, New. It'll bring up this window where we can enter in our sizes of our artboards. So I'll start with just a regular business card size. So you can see that's 3.5 by 2. I'm also using a print preset. You can click that up here if it's not selected. That will ensure that your document is in the CMYK color mode and 300 dpi resolution. You can see here you might have points selected by default. We like to use inches. You know how to use points, feel free. But what we're going to do is change this to 3.5 by 2 inches. That's going to be a horizontal business card, so 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches tall. If you're doing a vertical card, you can change that here as well. We're going to change the artboards from 1 to 2 because there will be a front and back on this card. Obviously, if your card's one-sided, you can keep that at 1. The bleed here. So the bleed is extra image area that we cut off during trimming. So it's definitely important to supply your files with bleed. We like to have an 1/8 of an inch bleed on all sides of the artwork for the vast majority of our products. If you're not sure, you can check out the print specifications on each product online. But for this one, we're going to put in 0.125. And if we tab over, it'll fill in all of those here because this chain link here is selected. So yeah, that will be 1/8 of an inch on the top, bottom, left, and right of the document. So we'll go down here and we'll click Create. And as you can see, now I have 2 artboards. The white area here is the 3.5 by 2. The red area around the edge is the bleed. So if you're designing this card and you have a background that goes right to the edge, so say this was my background, we'll make it blue. If this was my background, I would want to make sure that it extends all the way past the edge to this red margin. And then what that does is when we actually cut the cards, we're going to cut off this extra space, and that prevents white slivers from appearing on the edge of your card. So say if we printed it without bleed and everything was just inside this box, due to some shifting that can occur, you might end up with a bit of a white sliver on the edge. So we don't want that. We're going to make sure that we have the full bleed supplied on this document. That will ensure no slivers of white on the edge. And you can see up here in the rectangle size, this with bleed is 3.75 by 2.25. So that's 3.5 by 2 inches with the 1/8 of an inch on each side. Another thing you might want to do when you're setting up your document is put in a guide for the critical margin. So this is another margin that we account for. I'm going to select the rectangle tool here, and I'm going to click on the document somewhere, just a standard left click anywhere. And so again, our document is our card is 3.5 by 2. We're going to want to subtract 0.125 of an inch from that. That's 0.125 on the left and right, so 3.25, and then 2 minus 0.25 will be 1.75. So this is 1/8 of an inch inside from the edge, so we'll center that. You can see it's the same color as the background right now. If we right click and we say Make Guides here, that will transform that rectangle into a guide, and you can see I can't click on it anymore. You can unlock them by right clicking and then it will be selectable, but it's actually pretty handy to have it locked in place. Now what this margin is you don't want any critical text, graphics, information that you don't want to be trimmed to extend past this margin. So let's say I have my name here. I want that to be inside this edge. If we have it over here, again, with the slight shifting that can occur during trimming, that might end up closer to the edge than I want. Or if it's really close to the edge, it might get cut off. So yeah, you want to definitely make sure anything that is critical information is kept inside that margin. These margins are pretty much the same for all of our products, but again, check the specifications if you're not sure. You can, you can copy these guides if you unlock them and paste them, so you can have one on the front and the back, and then just lock them again. And this really helps you ensure that everything is set up the first time. That pretty much covers the basic setup. From here, you can set up your design. It's also the same if I was, say, making a postcard and I wanted to do a document at 6x4. Again, we have the bleed, it's an 1/8 of an inch on the outside, and then I would make a guide for the critical margin, which would be 5.75 by 3.75. Center that, right click, make guides, and there I have my critical margin again. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Hope that helped. Be sure to check out clubcard.ca for all of our products and pricing. If you have any questions that you can't answer on the site immediately, or just about any products or anything, you can click the Let's Chat button down at the bottom right here, and we'll be sure to help you out. We're going to be doing a lot more of these quick tip videos, so be sure to check back often on our Facebook and at clubcard.tv. If you have any special requests for tutorials, something you're not sure about, be sure to let us know in the comments. And yeah, thanks everybody. Have a good day.